I'm Joanne Dodds. I'm a violinist with Lichfield Sinfonia and I'm also a composer and arranger. Recently I wrote the Three Spires Suite for the orchestra to celebrate their 60th anniversary. The Three Spires Suite was composed for Lichfield Sinfonia's 60th anniversary concert. It's a work split into 4 movements, and each of those movements depicts a different period in Lichfield's history. Everything from the English Civil War right up to the present day with the Lichfield Bower, Erasmus Darwin, Dr. Johnson, fire, heresy, Cannock Chase, you name it, it's all in there.
It's basically a reflection of the history and culture of Lichfield, starting with the cathedral behind us, the Three Spires.
The Three Spires Suite is what's called programme music, in that there is a narrative outside the music itself which it refers to, and in this case it's the history of Lichfield and some of the characters involved.
I've described the Three Spires Suite as innovative, historic and local to Lichfield.
When I'm composing, I like to almost paint a picture through the music. So when I was researching Lichfield's history, I found some really interesting and some quite gruesome stories as well, which I thought would be really good to depict through music, so that when the audience is listening and watching the orchestra play, they've also got an idea about what inspired the music and a little bit about the local history as well.
My name is Mike Skinner. I'm presently a viola player in the orchestra, although I started in the orchestra as a violinist and transferred when we ran out of violas sometime in the 1970s. I joined about 1963 to 64 and I've been there on and off right up to the present day, and I'm hoping to go on a lot longer.
I love playing the violin. I used to play it as a child, so it's a great opportunity to play it again as an adult, and it makes it more special actually that my daughter could play in the same orchestra with me.
I enjoy it on a Tuesday night going out and playing a variety of pieces.
I'm originally from Chasetown, Lichfield area. I was in the Navy for some time, and when I came back to this area, having left the Navy, I was keen to rekindle my interest in music, and Lichfield Sinfonia seemed the obvious choice.
Well, I'm originally from a little town in South Wales, and I moved the summer before last, and I wanted to meet people and make music, and so Lichfield Sinfonia was a really good opportunity to do both those things. It's really interesting to work with a living composer because you can make decisions in real time. You can ask questions to try to better understand, as a performer, what the composer wants from you, whereas a composer who is not living anymore, you're never fully certain of what they wanted. You're just trying to translate the dots on the page.
I moved back to Lichfield about 5 years ago, and I was looking to play in another orchestra. Really enjoyed orchestral work, so I wanted to do that rather than join a wind band, which I'd previously been in where I was living in Herefordshire. And luckily for me, Lichfield Sinfonia had a place for a player for the Corps Anglais.
4 or 5 members of the orchestra, in fact, have little solos given to them in that movement about Erasmus Darwin. I think 2 violins are sharing the linguist part, because you are a linguist, aren't you?
And Claire is, yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And then the cellist is a science teacher, and 2 of our wind players an oboist and a bassoonist are actually dentists, so that covers the physician aspect of it. So it's a very interesting piece.
So my favourite part of the piece is the fire and heresy movement. I think that it's fantastic how Jo's composed the music to really describe the scene of all the flames licking up at the bottom when the person was being burned at the stake, and I think she does that really, really well, so I hope that comes across in the concert.
My favourite part is in Fire and Heresy, where there's flicks of fire representing the fire and the flames burning.
The orchestra and music in general has always played a very big part in my life. I'm an engineer by profession, not a musician, and it is nice to have something like music and playing music to sort of act as a very good hobby.
The orchestra just has a really nice community feel. And they're all always very welcoming, and it really is a pleasure to come each week. It teaches me something new musically, which is always good to sort of take back to the classroom. Through teaching, sort of two of the members have sort of joined in the last year as well, and I've got to know them, and it's just great to sort of have this option for people of all ages and abilities to just come together in Lichfield and just have a bit of fun, really. Yeah, real community spirit.
I think what I would say is that I do really feel it's a privilege to play in Lichfield Sinfonia. I think there's some really fantastic players. The opportunities have been phenomenal, playing with other soloists that have joined us to perform concertos, and I think that has been absolutely outstanding to be able to have that opportunity. I think the orchestra hopefully will continue to go from strength to strength, and I hope it's continuing in another 6 years.
It took about 6 months to write, and in that time hadn't really heard any of the parts put together, so it was absolutely brilliant on the day of the concert itself. Having the percussionists and the full brass sections, that was the first time the piece really came to life, and I couldn't have asked for better from the orchestra, really. I think we did a really good job of it. It was how I expected it to sound, and considering the group's a bunch of musicians who have full-time day jobs and various other busy things going in their lives, I think we did a really, really good job of it, and it was very special. And obviously, with it being the premiere, we're now the standard for how it should be performed in the future.